Okay. Hey, it's Alex from Alex Thomas Photos here to talk to you about some must buy things when you're first starting off as a photographer. And I'm mainly speaking from a portrait photographer's point of view because, that's mainly what I do. Do a lot of cosplay portraits, a lot of, just general portraits in general. So these are things that you might not want to buy because you just got your fancy camera and the first thing you're looking to grab is a new lens. You want this, don't you? You want a lens. Don't buy a lens. That definitely shouldn't be the first thing you go after. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to buy are batteries. Trust me, buy batteries. Buy batteries for your camera and buy batteries for everything else. Mainly, you might need just some double A's for everything else, but definitely go for batteries. First thing you want to get. Because not only will you need to power your camera, but you'll need to power your flash when you get that. And oh yeah, the flash needs some way to activate it, so you need a trigger. So there's that. So the next thing to buy after you get your batteries are SD cards. You're definitely going to want a lot of these. You're going to chew through these like butter because you're going to be freaking pounding that trigger down like crazy. And I know you're thinking, oh, I'm not going to spray and pray. And even if I do, I can just simply delete everything off the SD card, use it over and over again. But guess what? Eventually, you putting all that wear and tear on those cards, the card is going to corrupt. It's going to be a problem. It's better to have some backup cards, especially when you're in a pinch. What if you don't want to delete what's on those SD cards? Maybe you want to keep it as a backup. Definitely, please buy extra SD cards. I'm telling you from experience. Okay, another not so glamorous thing on the list that you definitely need to buy are cleaning supplies. Yes, sometimes when you buy a lens, they throw in that pack of cheap shit to clean your camera. And hey, if that's all you could afford right now, go ahead and get it. But it's wiser to invest in some cleaning supplies. For example, the air blower. You need one of these to blow all the dust off your camera. There might be some loose dust there on the lens or something. Real simple to remove any little dust that might be on your camera. Okay, let's say you do something stupid, like touch your lens. We all do it. It's okay. We all make mistakes. I suggest using these little Zeiss lens wipes here. They work great for me, at least. I'm not gonna lie, I even use them to clean the body from time to time. I like that, just knowing that it's all sanitized and this is alcohol, so COVID. So clean everything with this. I even clean my glasses with it. Now, you probably don't need to get this cleaning supply off the break, but if you're shooting with a mirrorless camera, you're going to get dust on the sensor eventually, and eventually you're going to see it. You're going to start shooting at higher apertures the better you get, because the whole bokeh thing isn't going to blow your mind. Bokeh is shallow depth of field. It's not going to blow your mind that much anymore once you get into some more advanced shooting with flash and stuff, and you're going to notice the dust on there. Yes, you can remove it in post, but it's good practice. Clean your sensor. This is the kit I recommend. There you go. Next on the list, a tripod. You're going to need it. Get a tripod. Trust me, get a tripod. Next on the list. Try to aim for something sturdy-ish. If you have to and you're low on a budget, you could get the Amazon Basics one. Is it the greatest tripod in the world? No. Is it sturdy? Meh. This is like a basic entry-level Manfrotto, and Manfrotto is like a fancy brand. You can get this. I don't even know what the name of this thing is. Okay, I don't know the name of this one, but if you see this, hopefully you know, maybe it looks familiar. You can look it up just by what it looks like, maybe. I don't know. But, you know, you can tell it's kind of entry level and basic because it's saying, hey, this mode right here is for photography mode. This mode right here is for video mode. But, you know, get a tripod. Next on the list, now we're getting a little fun here. Get a flash. Let's try that again. Get a flash. Get a flash trigger. I suggest going with the Godox brand or Flashpoint in America. Why do I suggest them? Because whatever camera brand you have, they have a trigger for it. This one, for example, this is the Fuji model. I had a brain fart there. This is the Fuji model. So the benefit of getting the Godox brand is that I can use this Fuji trigger, right? So it's meant to go on top of my Fuji camera with this Sony brand. Well, it's not Sony branded, but Sony trigger that's meant to go on top of the Sony cameras. You know, Sony has those multi-interface shoes. So let's say I want to shoot with my Fuji. I can set this up, put the Fuji trigger on, and it will trigger this no matter what. But, you know, I mainly shoot Sony, so I just have my Fuji as my fun time camera. You know, my Sony's used for work. Next on the list, get some light stands. They're cheap. $25 for one. That's not bad. But remember, you get what you pay for. If you buy cheap, you're going to get cheap. They'll break eventually. And if you feel like stepping up to a more, you know, durable tripod. If you feel like stepping up to a more durable light stand, you can. But I suggest if you're just starting out, just get the cheap one. Now, when you get that light stand, right? Some flashes, they have like a little screw hole where you can like screw your flash inside of your, you know, you can just screw your flash in there. But the Godox ones don't seem to have any like screw mounts on the side, you know, so there will be no screwing with these two. So the next thing you'll need to get is some grip. Now, this is an S bracket. This is what it's called. You know, just look it up on Amazon. It's called an S bracket. And all you do is put this into the hole, screw it down, and bang. There it is. Oh, yeah. And then get you in there. I think I'm screwing it out. And there you go. I just screwed it in. Now, this particular S bracket has like a grip on it. So if you wanted to like hand hold it instead of putting it on here, if you had like a you know, an assistant and you have him like, hey, just hold the flash like that. Bang, bang, bang. You know, you don't necessarily need that. But, you know, if you want to get one with it, I think it's a little bit extra, but, you know. And a lot of different brands make these S brackets. You got Godox, of course. You have Glow, which is by Adorama. And Neewer. You're going to hear that brand name a lot. Neewer. This next piece of grip isn't necessarily necessary, but I love it so much. It's called a super clamp. This bad boy right here is so useful. I have like attached it to my light stand. Like when I didn't have enough light coming from the one light, I gripped this. That's what's called grip. I put this on my light stand, screwed it down, tied it down. And because I have this little bracket, well, what is it called? I don't know what it's called. Because I have this little thing on here, I can like mount my light the same way I mounted it on my light stand. I can mount a second light onto here and bang, add in some light. I'm going to put a picture on here somewhere so you can see that. Really cool. I love this thing. Oh, also, shoot, if you want to put your camera in a position where you really can't get and you just want to like leave it sitting there, you can also use this. This can be your kind of light stand, I guess. Quick example. Here, I have my GoPro Hero 7. I have put it inside its mount, and then I screwed the mount down to a mini ball head, which has the little screw hole. Yeah. So then I can screw it down to here. Yeah. And there you go. Awesome. I love this thing. I actually use my GoPro like this a lot. Just screw it onto there, and I can put my GoPro pretty much anywhere I want. So I don't know how I'm going to fit this in the frame because these things are kind of big, but you want to get some light modifiers. Newer 5-in-1 reflector. Okay, so I chose to open up the small one because the big one is, well, huge and it won't fit here. That's what she said. So yeah, this is a 5-in-1 reflector. What it does is it reflects light. It's a oh shit, dropping stuff. So it reflects light. Okay, so as you can see, I have this little edge light over here lighting me, and I can go bang and bounce it off of me and bounce it somewhere else. I have this light up here above me. Okay, so I could do this and just add just a flutter of light. The black side obviously is to absorb light, and when you unzip it, you have ta-da, scrim to like let some light pass through. So like you can kind of like soften light and make it look a little prettier. We'll talk about softening the light later. But also the thing that I, you know, the sheath that it was in, I guess, you can reverse it, bam, and then you got a white side and a gold side. Another piece of grip you should get, I dropped something, the Glow Parapop. It's basically a softbox, or, you know, if you want to be specific, it's called an Octabox. Get out of here. Come on. Why get this thing? Remember our flash on the bracket? There you go. Up. I forgot to do something. Bang. So, why do you want this thing? So this will make your light source bigger than what it actually is. I have this little tiny flash. I have a big light modifier. Now, depending on how powerful your flash is, once it hits the inside of the modifier, the light is going to scatter and spread out and fill this entire softbox. And then it'll hit your subject and look pretty. I'm pretty sure I'll put some examples up in the video. You might be asking, what's this? This black piece that I have on here. This little honeycomb thing. This is called a grid. You don't necessarily need it, but it is cool to have. It is actually a light modifier because it restricts the light from spreading in different locations and hitting things that you don't want it to hit. And this is what it looks like without the modifier. Like this. Okay, I got a few honorable mentions for you. Your camera already comes with a camera strap. To me, they're trash. Also, they put a red flag right on you of what you're shooting with, and a thief could just run up on you and just snatch your shit. So, to prevent that, I would rather go with a strap that has like no branding on it, or you can get like some cool straps that are custom made. Like I have a photography buddy who has one that has Dragon Ball Z characters on it and it looks amazing. You can get something like that. I've elected to go with this because it has these cool little openings right here, and these little clips allow you to take your camera strap on and off really quickly. Example. Now, why would you want to take your camera strap on and off quickly? Let's say you're shooting, pow, pow, pow. You don't want it around your neck because you want to kind of like move around and adjust yourself in different ways. It's kind of long. It can get in the way, you know. Just for example, you're in my way. Like, I don't want you fluttering around. I can just easily go like so, push the button down, and bam. Now she's free. Honorable mention number 2, the SmallRig L bracket. Now, why would you want this thing? For that tripod you just bought. Some tripods, when you flip them in portrait mode, they're not quite in portrait mode. They're like kind of tilted to the side. And of course you could correct it in post and like just chop off some of your pixels, but why would you want to do that? Or you could like slide out one of the legs and then try to even it out, but why would you want to do that when you can get it straight in camera? Just use this bad boy and you should be perfectly straight. Also, the reason why I recommend this is for Sony users. We all know this. Sony has tiny cameras. I believe they're meant for people with tiny hands. My hands aren't exorbitantly huge, but my pinky slips off the camera. This bad boy here adds a little extra grip. So when I'm gripping my camera, I can actually grip the whole thing. And it has a space right here so I can still access the battery door. And then this gap right here allows me to access all the other ports to my camera. And my last honorable mention, this little wonder right here. This thing that I probably shouldn't have kissed is a SmallRig multi-tool. Now, why would you want this? Again, for that tripod you bought, you probably have a little quick release plate on there. And some of those quick release plates require you to use something flat edged to, you know, screw it down and screw it off your camera. And of course, we're not all carrying freaking flathead screwdrivers with us. Well, you got a flathead right here that is perfect to help you get that quick release plate on and off your camera. Also, you have a bunch of screwdrivers and Allen wrenches. I've actually used this flathead right here to change my headlights on my car. Yeah, don't ask me why I had to use this to change the lights on my car. It just happened. And there you go. Those are the things you need from a portrait photographer's perspective to get started.